Season 43, War number 12, the final war of the season, and we're up against SSx. This time my team will be Shuri, Silk and Future Ant-Man. And I definitely did not forget about this war, which is definitely not the reason the video is late. Anyways, I will be taking path 1 in section 1, as well as path 8 in section 2, along with that Korg there on the shared fight, and then for the boss island I will be taking all of the left side mini-bosses. A slightly bit of a lighter war this time around, but I don't mind, at least I can save some items. Now this specific war was very important for us, because winning this one will cement our position as the third spot in Masters, so we are definitely not looking to die here. Now the first fight right here is a Dr. Doom on the personal space regeneration node, and I'm taking the fight with Silk. And as I have done earlier this season, a couple times actually, taking a regen fight on the Indomitable nodes with Silk has not been a great idea. However, the personal space regeneration node can be very easily dealt with using Silk due to her ability to land those heavy attacks constantly to keep the opponent far away. So the regeneration buffs never stack up too high, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now as for Doom himself, well, as usual the fight is very simple for Silk. The slow debuff prevents the auras from activating, so there's nothing to worry about there. And the Sunder on the special 2 also sets his critical resistance to 0, meaning he's not nearly as tanky as he normally is. Fight goes down, no issues there. Now I gotta say, next season, when we can use strikers in war, Silk is gonna be so much better, especially because she's also a tactic attacker. Wouldn't even be surprised if she's gonna get banned pretty often. Now this next fight right here is a Magneto on the Masochism Overtime node, and I'm taking the fight with Shuri, and the fight is fairly simple. Shuri is not a metal champion, so Magneto doesn't really do anything against her. The main problem here is the defense tactic, but that can only trigger when the Masochism node triggers from my shock debuffs or my parry stuns. Other than that, it's not really gonna be a problem. Of course, my guaranteed crits are also gonna be triggering the prowesses, but usually when I'm landing them, I will have the armor buff active from my special 1 knocking down the defender. And if I don't, all I need to do is just land a heavy and fix the problem. Fight goes down once again, no issues there for Shuri. Everyone is still at full health, and we're looking good. Well, for now at least. This next fight right here is a Korg on the Hazard Shift Shock and Bleed node along with Conflictor, and I'm taking this fight with Future Ant-Man. I do have Odin's shock resistance pre-fight here to help me deal with the shock debuffs, which then should mean that this fight is extremely simple to take for Future Ant-Man. That said, for whatever reason, I decided to play this one like a scrub, and I'm gonna be making a ton of mistakes. The fight started off pretty well, but now that I'm at my special 2, I need to remove those rock stacks before I throw it, so that my damage will not be capped. And for whatever reason, I tried to intercept him there midfield with a light intercept, and completely missed it, which resulted in me getting comboed. And then I also decided to be an idiot and aid a full special 1. Luckily the glancing on Future Ant-Man has been fixed, so it's actually helping me here. But even with that I did take quite the beating, and even ate yet another combo before I managed to finish the fight. So definitely not a clean fight on my part at all. That was honestly pretty bad, especially compared to some of the other Korg fights I have taken previously. Then we have a Silver Surfer on the Inevitable Power Efficiency and Opportunist nodes, and I'm taking the fight with Future Ant-Man. Now this matchup isn't ideal by any means, and there is also the class disadvantage to worry about, but since it is only a surfer with basically no nodes to worry about, I figured that this one should be fine. And it would be if I was actually playing well. But if the previous Korg fight is anything to go by, well, I was not playing well today. I'm not sure exactly why, but I am missing my light intercepts constantly, and at this point I should have just given up on them, but I guess today I am not learning from my mistakes. I keep going for them, keep missing them, and keep eating hits, costing me a ton of potions, and also giving me a bit of a scare that I would double up my death count to a surfer, which would just be embarrassing, to be completely honest. At the end of the fight I did switch up, I started parrying for my openings, which I should have been doing at the start, to be completely honest. And I got the fight down, but that wasn't good at all. Next up we have a Storm Pyramid X on the inevitable power efficiency and Rich Get Richer nodes, and I'm taking this fight with Future Ant-Man. I did use an invulnerability boost just in case, but I should be winning the Rich Get Richer race throughout the whole fight, so eating a special 3 should not be a risk here at all. That said, I was still very nervous about taking this fight, even though it is quite simple, mainly because the previous 2 fights were as horrible as they were, so I'm just trying to keep it as risk-free as possible. A single special 2 here is almost enough to take her down, just a few more hits, and down she goes. I did manage to get back up to a second special 2 there, due to the Rich Get Richer node, but even a special 1 would have finished it off just fine. Now finishing that fight clean was a decent confidence booster, since I managed to do it without eating any hits, so I'm going into these next few fights with a bit more confidence, I guess. Here we have a Kingpin on the power efficiency and missing in action miniboss node, and I'm taking the fight with Future Ant-Man. I do have the White Magneto pre-fight here for me once again to help me land those parries to get my openings whenever I need to land the heavy attacks or whatever else. It's not needed, as I've stated before, but being able to get those openings whenever you absolutely have to is extremely useful and does make the fight a lot more stress-free than it would be without it. Now, as usual, game plan is to just spam those special 2s with the power retention up, and the fight is fairly simple. I'm gonna do my best to make sure that Kingpin doesn't get to his special 2, because the long unstoppable buff on it would be annoying to deal with, but once again, due to the White Magneto pre-fight, if he does get there, all I need to do is just parry him a couple times to wait it out, or just prevent him from using it and let the power detonation activating power drain Kingpin to take him below 2 bars instead. That wasn't really a problem here though, he is very trigger happy with those special 1s, and the fight goes down in roughly 1 minute and 15 seconds. A very simple fight for Future Ant-Man, provided Kingpin's AI isn't being too annoying. Next up we have a Bishop on the Conflictor and Combat Deja Vu Prowess node, or rather miniboss node, and I'm taking the fight with Future Ant-Man. I did wait for a teammate to go and place the White Magneto pre-fight here for me to make my parry stunts passive, so that I would get my openings with parries whenever I wanted to, without needing to worry about the Conflictor node. Now the game plan here is to simply not allow Bishop to throw a single special, and to do that I will be forced to eat quite a bit of block damage, due to the opponent being a 7-star, as well as due to the node giving him block penetration whenever he does trigger a prowess. Even though I remove the prowesses immediately, he still gets the block penetration, and there's nothing I can do about that. But since this is also the final fight I have for Future Ant-Man, taking some chip damage is not a problem. I don't have to heal him back up anymore, so as long as I don't die, I don't care how much health I have when I finish the fight. The Searching Swarm is also making this fight quite a bit easier due to making the defender a lot more aggressive, meaning they are also a lot more likely to actually throw those heavy attacks. At least that's how it seems like. I haven't actually done any proper testing, but I'm just going by my own experiences. And now then, the final fight of this war, and thus the whole season. We have yet another Mangog on the Aspect of Evolution mini-boss node. And once again, I am taking the fight with Silk. By now, everyone watching this video probably already knows how this fight works. I'm just gonna be relying on the invulnerability boost, pushing Mangog to his special 3, eating it if he decides to throw it. No matter if he does, I'm just getting to my own special 3, doing Silk's special 3 rotation, and since this specific Mangog is only a 7-star rank 1, a single special 3 rotation should be enough to finish him off without, well, having to worry about running out of the invulnerability boost or any of that. Now, in this specific fight, he decided not to throw his special 3 for whatever reason. I'm not complaining, speeds things up a little bit, but like we've seen previously, it doesn't matter if he does. The special 3 does nothing except waste a few seconds, and that's that. As for the results, we did end up winning the war 5-2, and with that we managed to land spot number 3 in Masters. So we made it to the podium. I am very happy with that, especially looking at how horrible the start of this season was. Luckily we did manage to turn it around after a few horrible wars, and here we are. Now as for my personal stats, I ended the season at 109 attacker kills and 1 death, out of which 5 were boss solos. So, looking at the past seasons, this one was probably my slowest one, with the least attacker kills, but I don't really mind it. Getting a lot of attacker kills, or rather fights in a war, is fun and all, but it is also very expensive, so being able to chill a little bit and let the other members in my BG shine as well, as they should, I am very happy overall with our performance. That said, I am still very sad about my 1 death to that Absorbing Man on node 50, but lesson learned, read the nodes even if you have taken them 1,000 times in the past. You never know when there's gonna be an interaction that you have forgotten about. Now as for the season rewards, I was gonna record them and put them at the end of this video, but I ended up opening them on stream instead. That BG stream is still up for anyone curious. I am pretty happy with what I pulled, and all that said, I want to thank you all for once again sitting through all these war videos this season. I will be making more of these as the seasons progress, and who knows, maybe I'll start doing them with a face cam as well. I am considering it, I'm not making any promises though, we'll see. But anyways, thank you for watching this one as well and sticking around all the way to the end. We'll be seeing each other soon enough in either some live streams or when the next season starts in roughly a week or so. If not then, well, I will be at Vancouver next month trying to do my best in the Battle Realm role, but more on that as we get closer to it.